Hello, and welcome to episode 217 of the Arena Regulars podcast. I'm Zach.
And I'm Jeff.
And we're your source for drunken Magic the Gathering arena content.
That's right, just a couple of regular guys drinking some irregular beers, talking about Magic the Gathering. In particular, the online client MTG Arena.
That's right, and this weekend we got something huge happening, baby. We are bringing ourselves back to our roots. It is the World Championship for Magic the Gathering, the 31st one, in fact. And back when we started the podcast, we used to do fantasy drafts for these events all the time. We have now scaled it back and only do it once a year for the World Championship. So we're going to get into some names, some people we think are going to be awesome, as well as the standard metagame and some other stuff going on with that for the tournament this weekend. But first, before we get into all that, each week we bring a beer, we drink it, we rate it on a scale from bronze to mythic, just like the tiers in Arena. So with that, Jeff, what is on tap this week?
All right, those who have been following along recently know that we are doing non-alcoholic beers. And the one we have today is Heineken.
Yeah.
Yeah. Heineken is in kind of... so we've both tried this before, so this isn't like a blind taste test.
No, definitely not.
But Heineken is one of those weird beers where I actually don't like the regular product, Heineken.
No, not very much.
But the non-alcoholic one is much better than like the other breweries' non-alcoholic versions. Like, it's weird because it's like it tastes like a Heineken, which I don't like. But it's most people's non-alcoholic beers just taste so bad that it's
exactly.
Like, welcome in the non-alcoholic world.
Yeah, where most of the time you're like, oh, I really want to drink. I want to drink like my favorite beer, but just like one that doesn't have alcohol in it. But then it always tastes so much worse that you're like, oh, it's not even worth picking up. But if you're drinking a beer that you already don't like very much and it kind of tastes like it anyway, you're like, all right, well, a beer that kind of tastes like beer, even though it's not, that's nice.
Yeah. I think I might, like, I bought an actual Heineken along with it just so later I could do an actual taste test. I think the non-alcoholic one might be better.
Yeah, it quite possibly could. So I guess like our beer review is basically at the top of this one. We'll actually give it a real rating at the end of the podcast. But
right, I haven't tried it in a little while, to be fair. I think
that's true.
Because my wife had one over the summer, and I was like, took a sip, and I was like, that doesn't suck.
It doesn't suck. It's like the anti-pre-game where you're like, during the day you can't really be just like day drinking anymore and pre-gaming for the barbecue. It's like you need to, but you want something to be grilling with.
Yeah, you gotta grill with something in your hand.
So you could grill with this one, and then later, once the kids are like going to bed and stuff, then you can start cracking the real ones, and you're like, all right, now we're chill.
Perfect. We found the perfect use case. Of course, it's very snowy outside and
that is
sub-zero
true.
temperatures, but
so maybe not so much barbecuing, but we could see this at some point. And of course, we are drinking non-alcoholics this time around because I am in baby watch. I'm waiting for my wife to get pregnant to give birth.
Whoa!
I'm waiting for her to get pregnant.
I think our wires got crossed there.
Yeah,
I thought the situation was a little different.
I think we were a little further along. No.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm waiting for my wife to give birth to our first child. So I need to be ready to drive at any moment, and so that's why we're doing
I love the idea that you're just
00
waiting
beers.
for her to get pregnant. It's like, did anyone sit you down and talk to you
explain
about
how this works? You have a very pivotal role in that part. You can't just be waiting around for it.
Man, it's taken a long time.
Jeez, what is going on? Oh God. Anyway,
We've been married for so long.
I know what's going on. And I can't even blame the beer on these ones. Like most of the time when I say things wrong, it's because we've been drinking beers, but we aren't even drinking beers.
Now the listeners know it's just us.
It's just how we are. Dang it.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff. Well, anyway, let's crack these non-alcoholic beers and get going with this night. I have a bottle. You have a can.
Yeah. Oh, it foams like a beer.
It does foam like a beer. I brought two because I wanted to make sure I could fill this up all the way. So I'm going to crack my second one as well.
I
Going
brought
crazy.
two, but I have a different approach. I'm going to crack the other one halfway through if I want it.
If you want it. I'm
Yeah.
fairly positive I want it, so I just want I just want
Give
to
myself that out. You know, one
Okay.
thing though, I was looking at the can. One thing about these non-alcoholic beers is like there's friggin' nothing in them. If you look at the like
the
nutrition
ingredients.
facts,
Yeah.
it's like 4 grams of sugar. Somehow it has 2 grams of protein. That's it. That's all that's in this thing. Like,
It's so weird. I don't even know. Contains barley. Great.
you could drink like 10 of these and it just would have almost no effect on your diet.
That's
You'd
so
probably feel pretty bad, but
maybe. Yeah, maybe it'll be like one of those Sprite challenges where you just try to chug it and then you just start burping. That would be
man.
essentially what it would be.
I tried to
Talk about-
shotgun a mini can of 7-Up once and it was the worst idea ever. It like burned my throat.
Yeah, that's basically just what it does. It's either
was
like
dumb.
the hardest thing about chugging isn't necessarily it has nothing to do with the alcohol content. It's
No.
always it's so cold or so fizzy, and there's like no
Yeah.
space in your body.
And there's just a lot of it, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
and you're just like, it just doesn't ever end. And when we would go camping, me and my wife would often like shotgun beers, but like I always made the mistake of like having tall boys, and like they're just not really meant to be shotgunned.
No,
They're too big. So anyway, if you're shotgunning beers, well, first of all, get a can, but second of all, I guess
tall
the last,
boys, bottles. You're just doing it wrong, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should stop doing that.
Yeah.
Last time,
Maybe just don't shotgun anymore.
last time I
not for
shotgunned
you.
a beer,
It's not for you.
I was on stream. It was my birthday, and I shotgunned
Oh,
a
I
beer.
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I still have beer marks on my computer screen from it that I can't like clean. It just went everywhere. It was a terrible idea. Shotgunning inside is so stupid.
Yeah, especially right at your desk.
Well, yeah, but it seems cool at the time.
I appreciate it. The viewers all loved it.
All right, with that, we have some Magic news. As I said before, the Magic the Gathering World Championship 31 is this weekend. That is December 5th to the 8th. Very exciting stuff. 5th to the 8th. Wait, that's too many days. 5th to the 7th. That's the right number. I was like, that doesn't sound
Well,
right.
they get played till Monday now.
Yeah, that's crazy. Anyway, so as always, they are playing both limited and constructed. And, of course, we are playing standard because that is the premier, format. That's like basically the Pro Tours are either standard or modern. That's what they've told us. And the majority of the time, they're standard. So if you want to be a professional Magic player, you got to play standard. That's like...
That's the rule.
That's it. That's the rule. It's set in stone now.
But this one has more limited than I think they've ever done at Worlds. It's like closer to a Pro Tour. I don't know if the breakdown
Yes.
is
I
exactly
think it's
the same.
basically the same as the Pro Tour.
Like they still do the 2 drafts, but I don't know if the number of rounds would be the same just because there's fewer players.
That's true. Yeah, I don't think we actually have a breakdown of exactly how many rounds of each yet, but they are drafting both days. But
Maybe
hey,
it's more limited than a Pro Tour. If there's 2
Uh,
drafts but fewer rounds.
I don't know. I don't think so. Now I'm like looking to try to figure that out. But anyway, it is we are drafting the Avatar. We, as if I'm going to be there. It will be the
We should make
Avatar
that
of the
clear.
West.
Neither of us are participating in this event.
It's so close though. We almost got there. Really.
Yeah.
Just we're missing a couple points to get in, but shoot. Anyway,
Maybe
no.
next year.
They will be, of course, playing Avatar: The Last Airbender in limited, which is great. It's just an awesome format, so I'm really excited to see that. Got really dicey with that Spider-Man one there in the middle. Really dodged all the Pro Tours, right? They knew.
Yeah.
They knew that
They
set
did that
was
on
going to be
purpose,
shit. Yeah. So, luckily, we didn't have to see any of that. But yeah, that's super exciting. And then, of course, like playing all the rounds of standard. It's 128 players, I believe. Or it looks like 126 actually in the end. But anyway, looking forward to seeing how everything shakes out. And like I said, as always, we do like a little fantasy team draft, which we have been opening up to the viewers. Before we would just do it amongst ourselves, and Jeff and I would have a bet. But I posted links in our Discord as well as on our Blue Sky and things. So, well, if you're listening to this, it's a little bit too late, but stay tuned for next year. But this is just a reminder that, like, hey, if you're watching these tournaments, it's so much fun to just pick a couple people to, like, root for. And, yeah, our rules are really just, like, you get one win per match win, and that's it. Just make it simple.
About as simple as possible.
Yeah. We tried to make it a lot more complicated. It's not fun.
Yeah,
it's fun when it's
so
simple.
complicated at one point.
Yeah. There's like way too many things that you could do, or all the things that you're trying to blah, 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 blah. So definitely a lot more fun this way. Yeah. Anyway. But Jeff, before we get into that, there is another Arena Direct event that is happening next weekend, the 12th to the 14th. And it's, of course, where you get to win actual Magic cards on Arena. Always a great time. There was one this last weekend. There's a Play Booster Box one next weekend. But I wanted to ask, were you able to play in the Collector Booster Box Arena Direct event?
Yeah. I sure did.
Wow, that sounds like you won it all.
Yeah. That's why I'm so excited. No, I went 2-2, I think.
That's
so,
rough.
just exactly long enough to not get anything.
I've done that many times. That is very
How about
rough.
you?
I actually ended up not playing in it. I was planning on it, but then I had like work early. I usually do it on Friday. But then I had work early that day as well as some other stuff, and then I had to work the other days, so it just didn't. I was like, I could do this, but it just kind of felt better if I was just like spending more time with my wife and getting prepared for the next couple weeks. So thought maybe I would sit it out, but yeah, I feel better now. If you had won a box or two, I would have been very sad.
Look at all these boxes in my background.
Yeah.
I just kept winning. I did get the pool I wanted, though, actually. That was pretty funny. I got like a straight blue-black kind of classic control list.
Oh, wow.
The drill.
Oh, my God. Fire Nation drill?
Yeah, and the black sweeper. Like, the cards I talked about. I was just like, how did this happen? I feel like I'm destined to 7-0 now. And then I promptly lost my first game.
That's... Yeah. Of course, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Sorry, which black sweeper did you have? Did you have like a Day of Black Sun, or did you have the Rise of Sozin?
One, yes,
the Day of Black Sun.
Yeah. No, not Rise of Sozin. I wish. That'd be
so
crazy.
Good.
But no, I thought it was a pretty good deck. I had some rough draws and some interesting top decks from my opponents that definitely didn't have me screaming at my monitor. No, I took them in stride.
Good, as you always do.
Yeah,
yeah,
classy guy.
Classy. No, the 2-2 in the Arena Direct is one of the worst feelings. It's almost worse than an 0-2. Like 0-2 is like
I think I would rather 0-2. If I 0-2, I might try again. When I 2-2'd, I was just looking at it like, fuck you, Arena events.
And then you're like,
giving
I'm not
you
doing
another
this.
8,000 gems or whatever.
Or whatever, yeah. So you're just like, no, I'm done. God, that is brutal. Especially because like if you start like 0-1, you're like, okay, gotta battle back here, and you win a couple more, you're like, okay, here we go.
I know,
we get it.
That's it.
And then it's like that third game when sometimes you're like, I think I can keep this hand, and then you promptly just get smoked, and you're like...
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
I hate losing round one, and I always do in every event. Like, even when I went to paper tournaments, I would always lose round one. I'm not, like... I need some time to warm up or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I always lose early, get put into like the losers round. And that's why I would always finish ninth, because my breakers were terrible because I always lost round one.
Round one.
I mean, I think often that time it was like on a Saturday and I went out on the night before. Maybe if I didn't do that, I would have run round one.
That's true. I mean, I did go to a pre-release with you once where you were very hungover, and and I've seen hungover like tournament Jeff.
Yeah, they were often like that. But...
Yeah. I think okay, that makes a lot more sense then. The fact that actually just means when you got ninth place, that's pretty impressive.
Right?
But, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But now it's just become like I wasn't hungover yesterday when I was playing, So it's just become a part of me now that I lose the first round in these tournaments.
Yeah, it's just like ugh.
I hate it because then, especially in these ones, because then you're like, I only have one more loss to give, so I basically have to like 7-0 this thing from here.
Exactly, or at least get enough where you're like, now I won my gems back, so I could do another one and not feel bad
like
about it.
4 or 5-0 is like the minimum that you're hoping for at that point. So
basically, I will say, I mean, this was just a regular draft this week, but it did feel very good where I had a Boros list that I felt like was supposed to do well, and I was really surprised that I started 0-2, and I was like, what the fuck is happening? And then I promptly 7-0'd and got the trophy, and I was like, hell yeah, buddy.
When it actually happens, it is the best, though.
It was so nice.
That's amazing.
Though I will say,
for you.
It was one of those things where like the beginning of the draft was really, really difficult. Like, obviously, games 1 and 2 were just got rolled. And then I think around 3 wins, I had like a really perfect like double top deck that was like United Front into Glider Staff to like make a bunch of dudes and then bounce their blocker to hit them for Exacxies or whatever. But then my last 2 opponents scooped at 16 life.
16.
And I was like, 16's pretty high. I mean, you
have an overwhelming board presence. That sounds like a frustration scoop of like not hitting their 4th land drop or something.
I think that's kind of what it was, but it was like, I'm presenting 5 damage, and it's like,
right, that's a lot. It's 16
is a lot
5 damage, but you don't concede.
You don't concede off of that. So I was just very surprised.
Unless you're like, well, there's literally nothing in my deck that gets me out of this situation.
Out of those
it's like, well,
3,
a 3/3 would do it. But...
Yeah, that's all you need. So that was
You're sitting over there like, my hand is garbage. You should not concede. That always happens to me. I'm sitting there with like a bunch of lands, and they're like, "Oh, this dude has like a huge board and like 6 cards in hand. I can't get this one." And I'm like, "Oh, you can.
Oh, you can. You
just need like 1 removal spell, and
then the game's wide open." Yeah. So just a reminder to everybody out there: don't give up that early. You don't have to. Play it out.
And if you want, go all the way to the Reed Duke level, where pretty sure he's on 0% and still just playing.
Yeah. Just keep going.
You never know. There's always error in your estimation. You might think it's 0%, but maybe that's plus or minus 1 or 2%. And then...
Yeah. It's true. I was playing a game today in Standard where it looked really, really bad for me. I think I was on 4 life. And then my opponent proceeded to make like 2 or 3 huge punts. And I just... So they made huge punts, but like my hand was like just known information. It was like I had Aang, Swift Savior, and they were playing like Dimir. And so they like had Kaito and some stuff going, and I just couldn't deal with it. But on their turn, they decided to attack with their Deep Cavern Bat, Kaito, and they animated their land to attack me. And I was like, flash in Aang, airbend your land, block the bat, get my card back. And I was like, why did you do this? You knew I had this card. And it's like, obviously they must have misread it or something. And then proceeded to continue to make bad plays
just like
afterwards.
2 or 3 more times.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, I was definitely going to lose that game if they just didn't do that. So, every once in a while your opponents do just lose by themselves. So you gotta stick around long enough to let them do that. You never know.
The other night I was playing against a version of Mono Red that was the one we were talking about like a year ago or whatever. But it was the Start Your Engines Mono Red. So it had the Hazarets and the Bastronauts. And my opponent had 2 Bastronauts and Hazaret and had me at, I don't know, 5 or 6 life. But I had a massive board. Like they were dead next turn. All they had to do was make one of the Bastronauts unblockable, and then pump it, and get in for 6 or whatever, because
Yeah.
there's a double strike, and it
And all
starts
that,
with
yeah.
one power. And I was about to concede because I was just like, I'm dead on board. But then my opponent just like is thinking for a little bit, so it's like, okay, maybe they don't see it. And then they just attack with everything. And I was like, okay, block, 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 all your stuff dies, kill you. It's just like, I'm glad I didn't concede there.
Yeah. Because they're thinking, oh, there's no way I win. Like, I'm going to lose this. Might as well just attack with everything. And
Yeah.
if they're sitting
I was
there
like,
being like, oh, how do I win this? And then you just concede, they'd be like, what? Yay!
Yeah.
They'd be so
I was
confused.
sitting there like, I do have an out, which is that my opponent doesn't know what Hazoret does. That's
Yes.
my out.
My opponent didn't
like-
read their own cards. Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe they don't know how it works. Like, they think it'll lose unblockable if you pump it because it won't be
sure.
1 power anymore or something.
Yeah.
I'm not up in the diamond plus ranks yet, so
Yeah.
it's
You do.
it
have
was a
some of that
like
when you're done
non-zero possibility that they just don't know what Hazoret does.
there. Yeah. Which, hey, that's what arena is like, baby. Sometimes you just gotta hope. You just gotta hope that your opponent doesn't know what's happening.
Sometimes I gift such victories to my opponents, and sometimes they are gifted unto me.
Exactly. Yeah. I am usually the one giving them away, to be honest. So I'm very happy when I get rewarded for knowing
Nice to get a
some things.
freebie once in a while.
Yeah, it's good. It's like a little pick me up, little nice thing. Yeah, it's like those drafts where you like start game 1 and I'm in a 3-color deck that has a sketchy mana base, and Arena's just like, you know what? Here's all of your colors and
Here you
some
go.
2-drops, and you're like, you know
A
what?
couple of fixers.
Thanks so much. That's awesome. Thank you. Always appreciate that.
I'll let you know if that ever happens to me, but it does sound nice.
I feel like it always happens to me, but like they wrote down my account. They know me over there.
Yeah.
So they
That's one of the things that my opponents are always rocking. They'll like, it's a no fixing format, and they're like plains, mountain, swamp.
yeah. You're like
White card, red card, black card.
yeah.
Off.
Yeah. It's a great 6. Cool. Nice.
6/6/5 mana base over there.
I mean, Jeff hates that, but the 6/6/5 mana base is what I use to top 8 that sealed tournament.
You had like a triple white spell in there.
It wasn't triple, or it could have been triple, but you didn't have to make it triple.
Oh, yeah,
it was
right.
It was the spree card, yeah. That I cast.
It's just
for-
funnier to say that you had a triple white spell on like 6
That's
planes
true.
or whatever.
Yeah, but to be fair, I did have a crazy number of duels and good fixing and stuff. But that's why I decided to do it, because I was like, why do I have like the white, like 2 white green lands and 2 green black ones or whatever? I was like, okay, this feels like I'm
And all
supposed
these
to do it.
abs and rares.
Yeah, look at all these amazing green cards I should be playing, and good removal spells, and awesome white cards. I was like, I think I should play all of this stuff.
It was a good deck. It's just
It's
just funny.
That was definitely the deck that I was like coming out of that tournament. The first thing I said to you was like, all I have to do is like, it's just up to me to fuck this up. Like,
Yeah. I'll
like
find a way.
I got exactly what I wanted, and I could just ruin it for myself. I got to try not to. So I waited until the draft in the top 8 to ruin it for myself, because that's what I did. I just drafted
Nice.
the worst deck ever. Anyway, so we have some cool stuff happening this weekend, and we have a set coming out next year. There's a cool tournament that we're hopefully both of us are going to.
Hopefully.
So we shall see. But more on that in the new year. But instead of talking about Lore and Eclipsed or talking about Secrets of Strixhaven, next week, even Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Next week, we are getting spoilers for Marvel Superheroes, which is a set that
Okay.
comes out in June.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. Jeff, it kind of brings up the like notion of we get so much more press for all the Universes Beyond sets, and I wonder how, like, what their contracts look like for these companies being like, you need to hype them up this much at these different times, or we need some stuff to be shown before this specific event or this Comic-Con or this, because that does seem to be
part of it, right?
Yeah, the thing that keeps happening. Because we got some pretty early spoilers for Final Fantasy, like at the beginning of this year, but that was like, it was before Tarkir, but it was after Aether Drift. This is like, there are 3 sets before we get to superheroes. Like,
Yeah, like is Marvel like, hey, you have to hype this up before Christmas so people buy Marvel stuff,
maybe, and get excited about that. Who knows? Or like, but how are they also going to hype this up? People are so low on it. Nobody wants to see this right now. At least in the Magic community, it feels like everyone's like, give me a freaking break from Marvel because the stupid Spider-Man thing was so bad. Let's just not.
Maybe Wizards is doing it for the opposite reason. They're like, let's try to snag some comic book fans to buy some Magic cards before Christmas.
Maybe. I just feel like
them
there's
hyped about Magic. And then
but like,
maybe they'll buy a gift for a friend or their kid
or something. But it's like you're showing off cards that you can't buy yet, though. So like, it's kind of a weird thing.
It is
just
weird. Like if you were a Marvel fan, and you wanted to play the game, and you see all these cool Marvel cards. You're like, oh, great. And then they're like, when can I buy those? Or where do I buy those? Like, you could buy them in June.
Yeah. 6 months
Weird.
away when you don't care about it anymore. Also, they could easily be like not even ones that are really part of the set. Like the first Spider-Man cards that we had seen were, I think it was around Final Fantasy was coming out, but they were all like the scene cards.
Right.
So it was like the ones that weren't in standard, and they were just like to look cool, and everyone was like, "Oh, that set's gonna suck." Well, they were right, but
They were jumping to conclusions, but they did jump to the correct conclusions.
the correct conclusions. So I guess that's just kind of what it is. But it does feel kind of bad that it's like, hey, there's just like Secrets of Strixhaven book is coming out and other things. Like, did you also know like there's a Magic comic book that is out right now that's doing a run? Have you heard about it at all?
No. I mean, like, I feel like I heard about it a long time ago when they first announced it because of you, maybe. But I didn't...
This is a different
was
one.
out.
That's like...
Oh, that's not the same one. Okay.
It's not even the same one. No, that one has been through its run a bit. This is with Dark Horse Comics. And it's all about Elspeth. And it's like 4 comic books about Elspeth. Basically the story that happens during Theros Beyond Death. And if you want more information about that, I talked about it on a podcast called The Long Comics Book Club. So go check that out. But it's just one of those things where it's like, why isn't WotC talking about this thing? Why do we have nothing on Arena about the actual Magic story thing? But of course we have something going on.
Because they have to hype up their Iron Man card.
They got to do it. I know. It's just crazy. So it's just so funny to see, because they're like, oh, we still have like regular Magic sets. It's like, yeah, but you don't talk about them very much. Like,
You do? I never heard of them.
yeah, they're just like happening, but like we're also in the sea of universes beyond right now. I love Avatar. Avatar's been awesome. I'm like a fan of the show now. The set is great. It's so much fun. I'm really excited for the World Championship. I'm
excited to watch some draft too.
Yeah. So it's just so funny that like it just feels like, oh yeah, are we still making Magic sets? Just get rid of those. Don't do those anymore. Obviously, you just want to do the other ones.
Just show me more Lorwyn cards. Enough with this, like, 7 sets from now, there's going to be a Universes Beyond set.
Like I don't care about that. Just show me Lorwyn cards, because that's what matters. So, and get people ready to buy those.
Yeah.
Like, is it too weird? Is it too weird to ask? When we first started the podcast at this time, we were waiting to play Call Time that came out in end of January, early February. And we thought there weren't going to be any spoilers before Christmas. We thought it was all going to be the new year. And then we got a couple spoilers, and we were pissed. We were like, I can't believe this. They're already spoiling this? That's so far away. It's like 2 months, a month.
Outrageous.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. That's several weeks.
And now this is like us being upset that they're previewing cards for a month, 6 months away. And it's not
consistent.
Magic IP, so yeah, I would beg for some Kaldheim previews right now.
Yeah. Kaldheim 2.
Kaldheim 2, Electric Boogaloo. Anyway, enough about that. Ugh. Jeff, do you want to get into some Worlds talk?
Sure.
Sweet.
So, we talked a little bit about Avatar. It's going to be the draft format. It's going to be super cool. But we did also get a breakdown of the standard metagame. And I think for the most part, I wouldn't say this is too surprising to me. I've been playing a little bit of standard in the past week. With a few exceptions. There are a few things that I find a bit surprising.
Yeah.
But the first thing to notice, well, there's a lot to talk about here, but let's talk about the top decks. So the top decks are Izzet Lessons at 18.3% of the field, Teamer Otters at 15.9% of the field, and then Bant Airbending at 12.7%. The first thing is, like, whenever the top deck, especially in a tournament like this where a lot of the players are working together, for the top deck to be sub 20%, I think is pretty solid.
It's
like
so
that
awesome.
on its own in terms of individual deck diversity is good.
It is, yeah.
The problem is a lot of these decks play a lot of the same cards. And are different more just in, like, the flavor rather than actually being super different decks. In the sense that, like... Okay, well, here goes. Every deck that's listed on here, with the exception of one, is a blue deck.
Yes.
And that one deck that's not blue is, like, the second least represented deck at only 4% of the field. So if you just kind of, like... mentally add up these numbers, we're talking at like 85% blue decks.
Yeah.
Whoa, that is a lot of blue.
And even in like the other category, we have like Dimir Bounce, Dimir Midrange,
Oh yeah, that's true.
Simic Otters. We're really just looking at like the 3 mono red aggro players. We're looking at 1 Golgari Dragons, 1 Orzhov Demons, and 1 Boros Mobilize. But like...
Yeah, so we're talking 91% blue then.
That's crazy.
Because there are, 9 decks that are not blue.
Yeah. So...
Wild. That's not something I feel when I'm playing on the ladder necessarily.
I do kind of feel it a little bit. I mean, like, there's an interesting tweet that I wasn't really on this until, or sorry, I say a tweet. It's from Blue Sky. Okay, I'm not on Twitters anymore.
It's a bluey.
Yeah, somebody blew this out into the world. But I believe it was Levdev, but he had pointed out that he thinks that Boomerang Basics, which is the sorcery speed bounce spell. You can bounce your opponent's stuff or your own, and if it's your own, you draw a card, will be more represented than Badger Mole Cub, which is one of our Wortha slots. And that's true. There are 253 copies of Boomerang Basics in decks, and there's only 183 copies of Badger Mole Cub. But, I mean, those are the most represented cards from Avatar that are in the standard decks. It's not that it's, like, extremely surprising. Boomerang Basics has kind of taken the format by storm it's just popping up everywhere. It's getting card advantage. It works with a lot of the stuff that people have already been kind of doing. They've been pushing the Pixie idea for a long time. of like you want to recast your stuff to get value. You want to be recasting your Storm Chaser's talent and everything. So that goes immediately into all those types of things, and then comes up in more ways where it, you can bounce your opponent's stuff, or it can be this little kind of pseudo removal spell for you if you need to. So didn't think very much of it until, well, obviously very recently, and then a ton right now where I'm like, holy crap.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a ton of this card when I play on the ladder.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think the ladder, so that was the other thing. The ladder definitely overrepresents Simic Uruboroid. That deck is very popular in my experience on the ladder, and here it's not that popular. And I think the ladder, you'll also see more mono red. Like, that's just always true. That unless mono red is amazing and it dominates the pro
which it
meta
has
as
been
well.
like very
But
recently.
even then, I think the ladder has more of it. Like, whatever the pro meta percentage of mono red decks, the ladder has always got to be higher because people just love to play mono
They
red,
do.
and there's the low barrier to entry in terms.
I think that's also a huge part. I mean, I always tell people if they're starting Arena that they should play mono red because it's mostly always viable. Like, it's sitting at a spot somewhere, and it's so easy to put together. Most of the time, it is made up of a bunch of like commons and uncommons, with the handful of rares. And mono white can be very similar as well. But sometimes those mono white decks, there's a bunch of rares that you have to deal, like, you really need. One thing I did want to talk about with these, I mean, obviously, I just brought up Boomerang Basics. That's a lesson. We have a deck that is it lessons. It's like performing extremely well. I had brought this up during our first Sips episode. That Accumulate Wisdom was going to be a really good card. I just thought it wasn't going to be good enough until we got more lessons, but turns out it is good enough, and drawing 3 cards for 2 mana at instant speed is crazy.
It's not bad. It's definitely not bad.
It's pretty great. And that's like, if we didn't have Accumulate Wisdom, I don't know if people would be pushing this lessons thing so hard.
No, I think that's the card that makes it viable.
It's just got to be, right? And I'm just kicking myself because I was thinking about putting it as my 3-pointer and I just didn't, and it makes me so. Instead, I went for something else that's not even represented in the freaking metagame breakdown, and I could have just picked a card that was like for sure going to do something at some point.
Because you just knew Accumulate Wisdom was too powerful for a 3-pointer.
For a 3-pointer, but I didn't want to like not pick Badgermole Cub as a worth a slot.
For sure, yeah.
Okay, well, I guess we can go with that story and just think that it's too strong.
That's definitely what happened.
But great card. So
yeah.
It feels so good that I said that. It's never what I never get to be the one that says, "Hey, look, I said this, I did it." That's never me. It's always like, stop bringing up stuff I used to say. Don't do it anymore.
That's true. There's been a lot of that. The other thing I notice here is It Looting is the 4th most popular deck.
Yeah.
This is just VV's Plan B, or like Plan C. The previous VV deck had a backup plan of just looting stuff and beating you down with the creatures. And that backup plan got its best card banned.
Yeah.
Right? Like, they banned VV, and then they also banned the best card in the backup plan.
Yeah.
And that is still one of the top decks at the World Championships. How ridiculous was the deck before? Like, you banned,
so ridiculous.
You banned Plan A, you banned Plan B, Plan C is still a top deck.
Yeah, I think one of the cards that I didn't really realize this was going to be like a standard card, but from Avatar is Tiger Seal. So that's like it's like a single blue for a 3/3 with Vigilance, and at the beginning of your upkeep you tap it, and whenever you draw your second card each turn you untap it. So it basically does nothing unless you can draw 2 cards a turn, and then it's a 3/3 beater for 1 mana. But like, if you played this card into Prof's Eidetic Memory to immediately draw another card and put a counter on it and attack
True.
for 4 on
That's
turn
super
2.
annoying. Yeah.
I think that's a big reason why they're like, memory's got to go, guys. Like, we can't have both of these cards, right? And
That would be frustrating, and it would happen so often that you'd just be like,
yeah, exactly. That you're like, this is the worst. So that
or even
is-
just fear of missing out, right? Like seal right into fear of missing out is also
totally
gets a
You're
big
just like,
attack
yeah.
and a big board.
So being able to do all that stuff and being able to loot stuff away, and this is a vigilance creature like this with FOMO is also so strong because it gets the extra attack steps. That's one of the reasons why you like a bunch of the other vigilant stuff.
Right.
So there are 43 copies of Tiger Seal in the tournament. So I'm assuming that a lot of them are in those decks. But I will say the looting decks have been playing Nathan Stoyer, which is pretty cool.
I see that in the like card. Like I just kind of thought that's what weirdos on the ladder were doing. And I was always like, ha, play Duelist of the Mind. This should be an easy win. But
And
no,
then-
the pros are doing it too.
Yeah, I think I had a turn where my opponent had Duelist of the Mind out in the battlefield, and they also were playing Frostcliff Siege, which is the blue-red one, then gives all your creatures +1/+0 trample and haste. And they basically just played... Well, in that situation, Duelist of the Mind wasn't the strongest part of it, because they just got to warp in a couple Riddlers and just attack me for a bunch.
That sounds like that's what beat you.
But being able to Duelist of the Mind and also play the what's that, like 3-mana draw 3 discard 2 unless you discard a creature from Tarkir called? It has like harmonize. I can't remember.
Yeah, that card's crazy.
But anyway, that card with the Duelist is really strong.
Sure, yeah.
Because then it gets really big. And there's also so many different draws. Like, there's so many different draw spells that you could choose from in Standard right now. Like, that's just, it just feels so crazy. It's like,
It's kind of like this is the poor man's Prof Eidetic Memory, right? It's replacing that as like one of your payoffs for drawing a bunch of cards.
Yeah, you like have to do it that turn. It doesn't really block very well compared to the other creatures that just got counters.
And you can't put the counters wherever you want and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. It has to be this, but it is flying and it has vigilance. So, and if you have the Frostcliff Siege, it does have trample. So it's one of those.
Yeah, seems okay. Part
just
of me wonders if there's a better option, but
I'm just happy that he's there, you know? I'm just happy that he's part of the party. His card has been... I always like it when the World Championship cards actually, like, are good. So for all of you out there who don't
played
know...
in the World Championship.
If you win the Worlds and you are the World Champion for a year, they put your likeness on a Magic card. And so that's why we're calling Duelist of the Mind Nathan Stoyer, because it was the card that it looks like him. And he helped design it, or at least picked from a couple designs. That seems like it's a little bit more like that these days, where you get to kind of say what you would like, but for the most part, they kind of come up with it.
I think they just like show you 3 designs and you pick one, and then
I think you might be able to
you
tweak it a
request
little bit.
It has flash. And they say
Well,
no.
yeah, but then if you're Yuta, they give it to you. So anyway, kind of on a tangent.
Maybe
there,
they think Yuta is flashier than Paulo.
Ooh, don't tell Paolo that. Anyway, we're getting Jean-Emmanuel Depraz card in Lorwyn Eclipsed. Actually, you know, we should probably expect some spoilers for Lorwyn Eclipsed at the World Championship. Right?
Yeah.
That's probably a given. So
And I do want to talk about that card in a second. The first thing I want to say, though, before that, is the most shocking thing to me on this.
Oh, what is it?
Jeskai Control at 8%. Mm-hmm. I play against this deck relatively often on the ladder, and it just seems bad. It always seems terrible. Like, maybe people aren't piloting it correctly, but it feels like the classic deck of, like, really? Your big game plan is to, like...
Jeskai Revelation?
Play your, like, 5-drop dragon and get a 3-drop
Jeff,
for free.
I don't want you Please stop talking, because I always lose to this deck, like all the time. Like if I run
It
into
just
this
seems
deck,
like only a total moron would lose to this.
I lost to it today. It's one of those decks that I just like. God,
Yeah,
just-
I mean, sometimes you lose to it, but it never feels like what they're doing is
No,
that
Jeff,
good.
I always lose to it. It's not.
Well, I don't know how to tell you.
It just feels like it, or like if I do beat it, I don't really know that it is that deck because I've beaten it so quickly that like I didn't even. I was like, it's one of the is it decks. I can't tell.
It's probably part of what's happening. There's so much blue-red and Jessica going
that
on.
you're not
It's like, I don't know what deck I
obviously-
just beat because
But
I
they
was
didn't
too
do anything.
fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Anyways, I'm surprised. So 10 people decided to bring this. I would have thought maybe like 2 or 3, because people just like it. I get that, but this looks like a team decided this was the best deck or something.
yeah, do you think Gab Nassif is playing this deck?
Maybe that'll help its win rate. I'd be surprised. I think his teammates would talk some sense into him. But,
Maybe.
sometimes
maybe not.
they can, and sometimes they can't. But the real deck I wanted to talk about was Sultai Reanimator at 6 decks in the field, almost 5%. This is the deck I've been playing.
Oh,
And-
really?
Yeah, I didn't know it was like a thing. I thought I was building something cool on my own. But then I look at these 2 cards. Now I'm assuming that Spider-Man card is Cavero.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And the Bringer of the Last Gift. That's what I'm doing. And it's actually surprisingly good. And it's been a lot of fun. And the reason that I like that you brought up Jean Emmanuel's card is because it's perfect for this deck. It's literally exactly what this deck wants.
Oh, yeah? I'm
Because
gonna have
what
to
this
bring that
deck
card
wants
back
to
up.
do, this deck wants Bringer in the graveyard and Cavero in the hand
Right.
to win the game on turn 4.
Yeah.
And so to have a 3-drop that literally does both those things is perfect.
right.
And you want creatures because you play your, the avatar that gets you a creature from your graveyard.
Oh, the black one, you mean from Duskmorn? You can't just say avatar because we have
It's
so
an
many.
avatar creature.
I know, but it's not Aang, so it gets confusing now. We have a whole
that's
set
not
called
on me.
Avatar. You can't just be like, because we have that one Avatar. It's like, that's a whole set name now. It's so
Yeah.
confusing.
No, the black one. And
Overlord. Overlord's a better word.
all right, fine. The black overlord.
There you go.
It you like to have creatures in your deck that do stuff. So, John Emmanuel's card.
You'd like to have creatures in your deck that do stuff? Crazy.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But for those who don't know, the way this works is Cavero says you get to copy something in your graveyard when it enters the battlefield. Bringer of the Last Gift says that when it enters the battlefield, if you cast it, it will destroy all creatures and then bring back all the ones that were in the graveyard previously. So it swaps what's on the battlefield with what's in the graveyard. Obviously not killing itself, though. It leaves itself alone. So it basically wipes their board and then returns your massive board of creatures.
Yeah.
And I play Arden, which gives demons haste so that you can just kill them right away.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like a bit of a hack because you did cast the Cavero, and the Cavero is just a copy of the Bringer. So it's one of those things that feels like it shouldn't work, but it does. The really weird thing about it that feels super wrong, but is how it works, is that you actually get 2 Bringers because your Cavero copies the Bringer, and Cavero's supposed to exile the card it copies. But the way it works, it just brings the other Bringer back before it gets exiled by the Cavero. So you actually have the 4/4 Bringer and the 5/5 Bringer.
Right. It's so weird. It's just like a layering thing, or?
The first time I did it, I brought all my creatures back, and I didn't really check to what happened. I was like, oh, they're dead. I have a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But then I had to do it where that was all pretty much all I had, and I was sitting there why do I have 2 of these things? I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit, it
Yeah.
doesn't exile the. Because in the past, cards like this would be exile something from your graveyard, and this enters as a copy.
Yeah.
for whatever reason, if Arena
one-
is doing it correctly, you actually get both.
Gonna assume that it does it. Like
And
obviously,
that
it's
bringer
gonna
of the
do it.
last gift never gets exiled. Which people who are playing this at the event will know.
Yeah,
And it makes it way better, because if you just have like this, a bringer and an Arden, you're hitting for like 10 damage flying lifelink haste, which wouldn't kill them, but it's way better than the 4 that you should be hitting for if it didn't work that way.
yeah, yeah. That's so
so-
crazy.
Anyways, this deck is a lot of fun. I personally have a sideboard that is like transformational, just to kind of make it a janky mid-range pile, because otherwise it folds pretty hard to Rest in Peace. Although it doesn't look like there's a ton of Rest in Peace in this event. So
That's true. So maybe
kind
people don't.
of pulling for this Reanimator deck. I find it's faster than everything else if they don't have graveyard interaction, because it just kills on turn 4
Yeah,
with remarkable consistency, because you have like so many ways to fill your graveyard and find the Cavero. So if the opponents aren't interacting with it, it's really hard to get to be faster than it. Like, I usually would beat Simic or Urborvoid because they just don't interact with me, and they try to build up a big board of like creatures, and I'm like, you have to literally kill me by turn 4. And they usually can't. They usually have a massive board, and it's like,
Yeah.
you're dead next turn.
next turn.
And then I'm just
but
like, cool, I destroy all of your stuff,
Not
and I bring
this
back
turn.
a bunch of demons and
Right.
attack you. So yeah, the Sultai Reanimator deck is what I'm hoping for. I have no idea who brought it. I was trying to like pick somebody from the list that might have brought this
Brought
deck,
that deck. Yeah.
but I was like, I don't think anybody that I actually know would have.
This is pretty interesting because, like, I don't know if we've really done the fantasy teams where we had the metagame breakdown. I can't remember. It always felt like we were picking and then the breakdown would come out later. But
Usually, yeah, we would pick before the breakdown.
because we're
I
recording
think
this
you want to
time
pick
the day
before deck lists, but
Yeah, but the deck lists don't come out until the first round of Standard tomorrow.
yeah, which makes sense. Like, you don't want people preparing or whatever for.
Different, yeah, who they're gonna. Well, I guess like specific deck lists. Yeah, you just have to figure it out as you're there, which is pretty interesting. But I would also like to remind you, Jeff, that Cavero will not be in this tournament whatsoever. Superior Spider-Man will, however.
Superior Spider-Man.
Yes.
Fine.
But yeah, shape it up to be a pretty cool event. Fun to see like Teamer Otters back. That was a deck that was like cracking out last year, and kind of went away for a bit. So seeing it pop back in is pretty interesting, as well as like some Bant airbending shenanigans. So looking forward to it. Excited to see what the tournament has in store. But Jeff, are
A
you
lot
ready
of blue,
to?
not a lot of black.
Yeah. At least there's green. You know, we've had like such a long drought of green not being represented in Standard really at all, besides like big Overlord rampy decks. So it's nice to have some early green stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's nice to see.
I
Not
like it.
everybody
I like
does.
it too.
Yeah. It's nice. I like seeing Lawnmower Elves out.
Same. Yeah. I think some people, if they play a lot on the ladder, are already getting sick of Badger Mole Cub, but
Yeah, I mean
think
it
it's,
is annoying, but like even if you've played that deck, also like the Cubs having a Cub heavy hand with nothing else feels awful. Where you're like, sick, I got all my stuff out, and there's no big haymaker to ramp
Right.
into, and now I just have a bunch of Lawnmower Elves and like 1/1 lands, and then they just wipe the board, and then you're like, well, I have nothing now.
yeah.
Obviously, it's crazy when there's a million Ouroboros out just like on turn 3 and 4, and they keep going,
Sure.
and everything is huge.
Yeah.
But it's also one of those things that's like, it looks so scary emotionally when you see it happen, and then when it happens more and more consistently, where you're like, oh, they're just going to play these giant things. I know I get the hate, but I don't know. I'm the one who, when I'm playing it, they have the turn 2 or turn 3 fire magic, and then I lose all my stuff but when my opponents play it, it's the other way around. You know what I mean? So,
Of course.
it's just the normal frustrations of playing cards and playing card games. That just
Yeah. I don't have an
happens.
issue with Badger Mole Cub myself.
no, me neither. Well, no, I have one issue with it. It's so expensive in paper. How am I ever supposed to play this card? Ridiculous.
Yeah. It's always the
So,
issue.
yeah. So another reminder that Arena is awesome and cheaper than paper because you can actually play the meta decks without breaking
like
the
Sultai
bank.
Reanimator.
Yeah. That way you don't have to
I'm
spend.
so curious to see what the
Friggin-
pro builds look like because I have been tinkering.
No, it will
I
be
feel
fun.
like I'm just starting to figure out some cards that are nice in it, but
Mm-hmm.
we'll see if they have any tips for me with those
Yeah.
deck lists.
Yeah, it's always great. I love being able to see all the pros deck lists because it's just like it's a nice around these pro tours. It's also like just like kind of like a nice reset button almost. It feels like all right, these are the ones that you're going to see from now on, and then things will slowly change, and we'll probably go through the holidays, and then things will obviously change again when Lauren comes out, and there's that pro tour. But I don't know, it's nice. I like it. Anyway.
This will be fun too, just because like I thought I was building this in isolation. I thought this was just a crazy thing I was doing. Apparently, 6 other people are doing it as well.
Yeah.
And so I've been just tuning this kind of on my own, and I was gonna like post it to the Discord, and be like, how do I make this better? But now I get to see what people who are actually good at deck building and know what they're doing decided to
Are
do with
doing.
it, and compare that to mine and be like, oh
Yeah.
that is
I-
pretty good.
I don't want to super burst your bubble, but I do know that this is a known quantity in the Magic space.
Okay.
So
Well, now I feel like garbage. If I was building a meta deck, I hate myself.
I don't know if it's meta, but it's known.
Yeah.
But I don't sit down and think about it. But I also am not playing standard crazy amount. So
I mean, I didn't come up with the idea of the bringers either. I saw it somewhere. I can't remember if I played against it or if I think I played against it and I was like, oh, that's cool. I'm going to build my own version of that. So it's
Sure,
not
sure,
like
sure.
I thought I was the first person to think of this combo.
Of course.
Because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
stole
yeah.
it from somebody else. But I didn't
Yeah.
know other people were like building this actual deck.
Yeah, I'm fairly positive. I've definitely seen it around, and I've lost to it before, but not. I don't see it often, personally. But
Yeah.
who knows? Anyway, Jeff, I think it's time to reveal what our fantasy
dream
teams
team.
are. Exactly, the dream teams. So basically how we do this now is that you can have each other's players. We're just playing best ball here. We're just trying to pick the top 8. So we have 8 different players on our fantasy team, and each match when each of those players we get 1 point. And you hope that your players get the top 8 because then they get to play more Magic, which means you have chances for more points. However, we didn't add anything. If they make the top 8 and lose in the quarterfinals, they get as many points as they had from winning matches from the day before. So it's not
Yeah.
nothing really extra there. And this time around, we did add that there's a tiebreaker for picking the player of the year. Who we think that's going to be down at the bottom, just in case we happen to have exactly the same team. Hopefully, we don't also have exactly the same person for player of the year.
Yeah. Well, this is more likely to hit the tiebreaker than the Pack 1 Pick Zeros, because you don't have to have the exact same team, just the same number of points, right? And
It's true.
it's a little more like I have someone who gets 5 points, you have someone who gets 5 points. Whereas with the Pack 1 Pick Zero, it's like this was 57.3%.
Yeah,
and,
it's
you
like
know, it's
very,
just so unlikely
very
to be a
difficult.
tie.
Yeah. Unless you're picked exactly the same stuff, which
Yeah.
does happen.
But here it could definitely happen. Although,
Yeah.
then it's also, there's not that many options for the tiebreaker, so it's like could easily pick the same tiebreaker too.
That is true, but things can be upended. Sometimes they look very obvious, and then tournaments go sideways, and then things
Totally.
flip all
like
around.
one event has such a big impact on these. Like you look at the people who are at the top, it's just people who won a pro tour are all in contention because
Yeah.
that gives you so many points.
It gives you a ton of points.
So
And just remember,
if anyone just spikes this event and was anywhere near the top, they could win.
like okay, even if they didn't make the top 8 in any of the other pro tours,
Yeah.
if they did okay, and weren't like in the bowels of, well, I guess if they were in the World Championship, they weren't in the bowels anyway.
They probably did okay if they're the world
Yeah,
championship.
exactly.
Although some people qualified because they were in the last year's world championship. Maybe they had a shitty year this year.
That's true. That does happen. Great. Well, Jeff, how do we want to do this? I'm assuming that we have some of the same players, so I think when we're going through our teams, we'll just like pop in and say we have those players as well. Unless we have completely different ones, but I really doubt it.
I'd be surprised if there's no overlap. Do we want to just like
crazy.
say our team and then explain our picks shortly?
That makes
Just
sense.
a little blurb after.
Yeah, or we can. How about you start? Give me your first player, and
All
then if I'm on it,
These
I'll
are
go.
also in no particular order, really.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll group them. Okay, I have an idea for how to group them.
All right. You do
All
whatever
right.
you want.
I will, Zach. Thank you.
Okay.
My first pick was Sleep In Simon Nielsen.
Ooh. Okay. Nice. I did not pick Simon Nielsen at all. this
Okay,
year.
there we go.
Yeah.
We already have different teams. I like that.
Yeah, I like that too.
The pressure's already off of like, okay,
It does.
now we don't have the exact same team.
Yeah. Well, give us your reasoning. Why Simon Nielsen?
Well, we've talked about how this event has more limited than previous
Right.
events. And Simon actually has the best limited Pro Tour win rate of anyone in the field.
Okay.
He's like 75% Pro Tour limited win rates.
Right.
Of his last like 20 drafts, he's 3-0'd like 10 of them or something, and he 2-1.
That's true.
So he always crushes limited. And then he's not a bad constructed player either. So
He's not bad.
he's pretty good. So his heater wasn't this past year. He's cooled off a bit since his like ridiculous 2024 run. But I think just the fact that he's the best limited player in the room and very competent constructed player, and with a good team, he's going to have a great deck. Always a shot at spiking the whole thing.
That's true. That's a good pick. I did think about him, but he wasn't top of mind.
Yeah. If it was last year, we both would have had him on our team for sure. But
We did have him on our team last year, both of us. So, because it was very obvious he was like front of the pack. Very interesting. Okay, great. I love that. So my first pick is the obvious one. Definitely went back to the well. Javier Dominguez. I'm just gonna pick the world championship. The world champion from last year, and he isn't on. He's not doing nearly as well as he did like last year, and he jumped and he won like Player of the Year. He took over the whole thing. Like this is exactly what we were talking about. Where Simon Nielsen he looked like he was going to be Player of the Year, but then because of his standings in Worlds last year, it kind of looked like Seth Manfield was going to get there until Javier beat Seth Manfield in the top 8 and then won the whole thing. But he took it over. So I think that Javier still, he's always got some gas in the tank. Same type of thing, though. Not doing nearly as well as last year. But I think he has like an upward trajectory right now. He was doing not so great at the beginning of the year. He had kind of a bad... I guess he had a bad tournament in Aether Drift. I think it was 130 something. And then in Edge of Eternities, he was also 130 something. But in Final Fantasy for the Pro Tour, he was ranked, 31st place. So he's got something in there. There's something going on.
yeah,
And I never want to leave him on the bench.
for sure. I picked him too.
Yeah, of course. Good.
I'm going to put him in my third slot for reasons
Okay.
that might become clear later.
Interesting. All right. Well, it's later right now. Are you going to tell us what this next slot is?
Sure. So my second slot
Yeah.
is Shota Yasuoka.
Okay.
So it's just a player I like a lot. He always brings
Yeah.
some like crazy control deck and somehow does well with it, even though the deck looks like garbage on paper. So he
Yeah.
might be one of these people playing this terrible Jeskai control list, and the only one who's going to win with it. That's my prediction. But Shota has the second highest Pro Tour limited win rate.
Got it. Okay.
At like 70% or something, or like low 70s. I think Simon's like mid 70s and Shota's low 70s.
Got it.
And so these were my limited All Stars slots 1 and 2, who also have obviously everyone here can play both formats really well.
Yeah.
But these guys are the like limited snipers who are
Yes.
most likely to start out 3-0.
All right. All right. See, and it's so funny because I'm like, yes, the 3-0 is great, but I think the Yuta going 0-3 to win the whole thing was
Oh, that was epic for sure.
always throws me off where I'm like,
Statistical improbability.
yeah, but but it doesn't matter. Well, you put Shota right here. I had kind of alluded to it earlier, but Gabriel Nassif is one of my picks. So I'm going to put him right here with Shota just because they might both be playing the same.
They're both playing. This is the Junker control row.
Like old guys playing like Control. So we'll see. I feel like I've picked Gab Nassif before, but he also did pretty well in like another like kind of middle of the road guy who hasn't been doing so up and down. So I feel like he's trending upwards. This is what I was basically trying to say before it. He got 46th in Aether Drift, and then he went 85th, went a little bit down, but it came back, and he was 12th place in Edge of Eternities. So there was a lot of
And
control
46
stuff.
is a very good result.
It's a great
Top
result.
64. Yeah.
So I know that obviously Edge of Eternities was a modern tournament. I was kind of steering clear of some players that did extremely well in Edge of Eternities because of the whole modern thing. And I was just putting way more weight into some of the standard stuff. But I also think that having something in the air and being on a little bit of a heater is something I'm really like interested in those players who are like just on a hot streak, who are doing great.
For sure.
So hopefully that transitions over. But he isn't specifically one of those players. I have a couple other ones that are a little bit more like that. A little bit more like that. But
Fair enough.
love it. I'll go next again because I only have 2 players up on the board right now. I picked a kind of an obvious one here. Front runner for Player of the Year, Ken Yukihiro. I almost didn't want to pick him because he won a Pro Tour. And it just feels like the players that win the Pro Tours don't always do extremely well in Worlds, or it's so unlikely that they're going to do so well. For whatever reason, I don't know if it's because they already won something this year, so some of their hunger is gone a little bit, or maybe they're not like fighting as much. But I think he's going to do. He did so well in the standard tournaments this year because he wasn't in the top 8 of Aether Drift, but he was like close. So he was 10th in Aether Drift. So like,
Right. Yeah.
I think that standard is definitely his thing this year, and I think that he's going to get me a ton of points, even if he doesn't make it to the top 8. He's going to do extremely well, even though his favorite deck did get banned. So, there's a little bit of that. But Ken Yukihiro, I just needed him on the list.
Yeah, I also picked Ken.
Good.
I'm going to put him in my number 5 slot.
Oh my gosh. All right. I'm moving all mine around just so they line up with yours.
It will all become clear.
Jeff says, I don't have a particular order. Has it in extremely particular order.
Very specific order. So yeah, Ken is great. He's also having like heater of the year.
Yeah.
Like you said, I'm pretty sure it was him. I'm trying to trying to find the video now, but Jim Davis did a video on one of his games. Let's see if is it this one, where he is playing mono red. Sorry, I just had Jim like yelling at me because I didn't expect. Okay, and this was all wrong because it was a different player. But
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, Ken played a lot of mono red. He was very, very good at it. He was beating VVs. He was beating
Everything.
what was the other broken card that was also in that meta?
He was playing Core Steelcutter.
Corey Steelcutter. Yeah. And he was just over on his mono red that's over there crushing everyone. He's just like one of my favorite players too. So
Yeah.
So that's what I was gonna say. So I have Javier. You picked him. I picked him for the same reasons, but I also picked him because he has this ineffable quality of anytime I watch an event, he just seems to crush it. Like he's just always winning. I don't know.
Yeah.
He just wins a lot. I don't know if like it's just an observation bias thing that I just happen to have seen tournaments that Javier does well in. But no, he obviously wins just a crazy amount. And every time I tune in, it just seems like this guy's winning.
Yeah.
And so that's why I picked him, just like that. He in my head of like who's always winning, it's Javier. And there's another guy that is in my head of he just always seems to be winning. And whenever I see his name, I'm like, well, that guy's going to win the tournament. And it always happens. And so I picked Jan Moritz Merkel. And so these are my always winning guys in slots
top
3 and 4.
Oh, gotcha. And 3 and 4. Got it. So you have, okay, I like how you did this. This is, there's a
So I
lot
have
of
my draft aces, and then my always seem to be winning guys.
Always winning guys. I like that. I did not pick Jan Moritz Merkel because I was much
I figured
more
this might be one that you wouldn't have picked. So
I know
that's what
that
I liked about it too.
Yeah, I know that you like him a lot.
But you had to know I was going to pick Ken. I always pick Ken,
You always pick
even
Ken,
when he's not doing well.
You always pick Ken and you always pick Shotas. I know that.
Yeah.
So a player that I always pick, and you always pick too, I think we should just say it. Because I pick Reed Duke. It's just
I'll
like...
go ahead and put him in my number 6 slot.
Yeah, he's always there. And some of it is just because you always, like, you can't ever count him out, but you always like rooting for him. And so he's one of those slots where you're like, I just want to have Reed on my team just because I want to have it a little bit of extra weight. But he is also doing so well this year.
Yeah.
So, like,
He's doing really well.
He's in the hunt
When I saw how well he did so far in this year, I was like, well, I already wanted to pick him, even if his numbers were atrocious. I would have considered it. But the fact that he was doing well, definitely on the team.
Yeah. He is currently ranked 8th for the race for Player of the Year. So, and I did lean pretty heavy on my picks. I cared about the Player of the Year so much because I think that the players that are hot are the players that I want on my team. I think that's the most important part. Though Ken is the only one who actually won a Pro Tour this year. Someone I'm actually putting on my team.
Just to clarify, when you say hot, you mean like they've been doing well recently, or are you speaking about their physical attractiveness?
Both of those things are true for all these players.
You have a good-looking team, I was going to say.
Yeah, of course. And yours is trash, even though they're basically all the same.
Harsh.
Well, so far, my team is just basically your team, except for with a yellow hat.
A subset.
So
the yellow hat adds a lot.
It does. Another player that I literally just talking about the Player of the Year race. This is someone who I think is going to continue to perform extremely well. Has already top 8'd 2 Pro Tours this year. I think he can do it again. Ian Robb is on such a heater. I can't leave him off the board.
Yeah, you gotta take Ian.
Of course. All right, well, Jeff, what is this? You have all my players.
Well, you must have at least 2 other players that I don't have.
I do. All right, so Ian Robb's second place in the Player of the Year race. Obviously phenomenal
he's-
and crushing in
Top 8'd
standard.
his first ever pro tour. Then, did he have one in between, or did he just like go right back and top 8 the next one? I think
He
there
went
may
back
be
to-
one in between where he was garbage, and then he top 8'd the next one.
Yeah, he did Aether Drift and Final Fantasy, so back to back. But he's
Oh, it was the modern one he didn't do super well in, or something.
yes.
Yeah, which is
because it's
fine.
modern.
I don't deduct any
That's
points
why
for
I-
that, Ian.
And the modern, like besides Gab Nassif, which is like I think there's some control decks in modern that he was playing. I mostly was caring about standard results because I think that matters the most. And Wizards also tells me that it matters the most because Pioneer is dead.
Yeah, is that even a format?
No.
The other thing I liked about Ian is that he top 8'd, I think, Final Fantasy with Is It? Mm-hmm. And, I actually had picked my team before really looking at this standard metagame. But now it's like, I'm glad I picked him because this is an Is It metagame.
Dude.
So, like,
Yeah.
he's either playing Is It, which I think is very likely, but he also at least knows the Is It decks really well and how to pilot them, which gives you, we've talked about this before, it gives you such an advantage playing against them, even if you're not on that deck yourself, because like, what are the key turns, what are they hoping for, what are the like awkward parts of a deck. Every deck has the like awkward parts, and you're like, how do I take advantage of my opponent's sort of awkward draws, or what's a sign that they're stumbling, kind of thing. So knowing he probably is really well suited to this metagame.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Or he's just a great player and he could have won with anything, and he picked.
I mean,
happened
that's
to pick
also
Is It.
true.
That's also possible.
Which does happen. But kind of piggybacking on exactly what I just said about these players and caring only about the standard ones. Yu Chen Liu is my other player,
That's
which
my
of course,
last player.
of course it is. These are like, okay, so Ken, Ian, and Yu Chen are all the top 3 players in the Player of the Year race, but it's just because Ian and Yu Chen both top 8'd both of the standard tournaments this year. Like, how do you not pick them? It's so impossible. So it just, I don't know. Like, Yu Chen placing like 4th and then 3rd. And then in the modern one, it was like dumpsters, but who cares? Like,
He's due for second. That's the
exactly.
progression.
He's just
And then the next one he'll win.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, this actually makes me feel kind of bad about maybe my other picks that might not be enough to pull me through, because now our team is almost exactly the same.
We have 5 overlapping players. That's more than I was hoping for. It was started so strong.
It did start
having
strong.
overlapping
It
players.
did start strong, but I feel like my players that are not overlapping are not looking as exciting, because there's some of the ones that I kind of just like. I will keep with the whole thing here with Player of the Year racers. Zevin Faust is my other pick, another player who is on a heater, and I think I'm just buying tickets for anyone, every horse in the race. I think
Team NBA Heat over here, man.
it's really, it's just the heat. That's literally all I was looking for. The heat, the World Championship, the control player, and then one fun one, which I always pick, and I usually kind of regret, but I'm going to do it once again. Another player who does do well, but it's one of those players that, like, if he's playing and he is like on screen at all, I am probably going to stop and watch just for a few minutes. And he hasn't been below, I think he's been in top 64. No, he was in top 64 for the tournaments that mattered, and then he was 82nd in the modern tournament. So,
Ugh.
yeah, yuck. But I picked...
That's not a heater.
All right. Well, I picked Arne Huschenbett.
Yeah, classic.
Yeah, I did pick last year, and it ended up not really working out for me. Because, spoiler alert, I tend to always, lose this. fantasy team thing, but I like it. So really, I'm pulling for 3 players.
I like Arna a lot too. For context, Arna told Zach he was special once, and so that's why he always picks him.
That is true. I did go into his chat, and I was regular Zach, and I followed him, and he was like, "Oh, I don't think you're regular Zach. I think you're like a." Did he say special or cool? I can't remember, but something
Unique.
nice.
I don't know.
He's a. He might have said cool. I think you're cool, Zach. And I was like, "Yeah, Arna likes me."
Now I'm gonna pick you in my fantasy draft
every single year. Well, Jeff, that does leave us a tiebreaker, which might be super important. So our tiebreaker is, who do we think is going to win Player of the Year? Where are we actually putting our chips? What do we think?
I picked Ken.
Okay. All right. Okay. You picked Ken. That's a good pick. That's a really good pick.
It's my guy.
I know it's your guy. I think he's not going to get there, and Ian Robb will, in fact, surpass him.
Good pick.
And just wait, it's going to be one of the other guys below them. But
yeah.
Hey, I think something's going to be shaken up here, and Ken won't take it down, but we'll have to see.
So I'll just quickly go through my team again real fast. I have my top 2 slots. These are my draft aces, my limited all-stars, Simon Nielsen, Shota Yasuoka. Then I have my people who just seem to win a lot slots. That's Javier Dominguez, Jan Moritz Merkel. Then I have old guys I like. That's 5 and 6. It's Ken Yukihiro and Reed Duke. And then 7 and 8 was supposed to be the young heater, like the young hotshots, like the young guys who are new to the scene and on heaters. It was originally going to be De Benedetto in number 8, like Ian, and then I was like, yeah, then I have the young, like new on the scene heaters. But I got nervous about the modern thing, like you've been talking about, where I was like, yeah, he played awesome in that modern event.
Yes.
But it's just not the same.
It's just not the same.
And Yu Chen is just, he's on a heater. He's just not like new to the scene, really. Yu Chen's been around a while. But like, it was a dumb reason not to pick him. So I was like, okay, get out of here. You're a last minute cut. I got to put Yu Chen in. And so these are my heater slots, 7 and 8.
Yes. Nice. And my whole team is heaters.
Yeah, you went all heaters, which I gotta respect.
Yeah, it's like what is it in How I Met Your Mother? Barney's talking about his like pump up playlist. He says that there should be a rise and a fall. It's all rise. That's all we
rise,
have,
baby.
Nothing else. We are just going for it. Let's get there. So really, the only difference is that I have Arna Hushembet, Gabriel Nassif, and Zevin Faust. So please, guys, please pull it out for me. I really need it. All of those players have to make at least day 2. If one of them doesn't make day 2, I think my hopes are just completely squashed.
Now I just know like Simon and Shota are going to 0-3 the draft, and Arna and Gab are going to 3-0 it.
Let's go. That would be great. It would be so funny.
The reason I picked them is it's completely backfires. Javier and Yan don't win a single game.
Yeah. I mean, like, you never know. Javier had that like train wreck of a draft in Aether Drift.
Oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, which I don't know if he went 0-3, but they stopped following him basically.
Yeah, he lost his first 2, and then we lost track of him. So.
Pretty rough tournament there. But anyway, World Championship shaping up to be pretty awesome. But yeah, Jeff, do you have any last thoughts before we go to last call?
Yes. My last thoughts are, I bet, just because I've gone on record saying this, Jeskai Control is going to have the highest win rate in the whole
And the Reanimator deck is going to be horrible.
All 8 of the top 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, Reanimator dead last, 0% win rate.
Yeah. Oh, that would be really funny. Well, I guess we'll just have to see.
I'm hoping one of my players brought Sultai Reanimator, but I doubt it, looking at this list.
Yeah, looking at my players, I can't even. It does look like a bunch of Izzet, but that's obviously what most of the tournament is anyway. So
I thought about putting Eli Cassis on the list because he was like, he always just kind of brings whatever he thinks is best. So he had the highest chance of possibly being a Sultai guy. But then I'm like, he's probably just bringing like, I always call it sweatpants, but what's it actually called? Roots.
So you call it sweatpants?
Yeah.
Did we talk about
Roots
this?
deck? Yeah, we've been over this before. Just because
Okay.
Roots is a famous Canadian sweatpants brand.
Oh, right. I Insidious Roots, but it's sweatpants. Right. Because of.
So I don't know if there was a Roots deck in the other. I haven't checked the other, but if there is, that's Ely.
Yeah, I don't believe there is. Let me see, but no, because it's Golgari Dragons, so don't see a.
Oh man, I hope that gets on camera.
Yeah, that would be very nice. Oh, I have no idea, but
I'm trying to even imagine what that could be. Golgari Dragons?
I have no idea. I'm very excited for whatever that has for
It's
us.
got to
in
be
store.
that dragon that, you know, the one makes
The
you
scavenger.
like...
that you love?
Scavenger, yeah.
Yeah.
Scavenger Regent or whatever. And then... Are there other dragons
Are there
in this
other- I don't even know. Yes, technically, but they're all like draft cards.
Although there's
No.
that one that's...
Oh,
I
there's the
think,
one
like...
that gains you life.
Oh, yeah.
That like when more dragons come into play, you gain life and you get to like search up a land or whatever.
There's the green-black one that kills a cheap creature, and then it's a, like, Rex Sage kind of...
That's true.
dragon.
Okay, so maybe that's why they're calling
everyone
it
seems
that?
to have in their sideboards, and I never know why. I'm like, this card seems not
Yeah.
like a sideboard card.
I guess we actually do have a explanation here. I should probably just read this because it was in the article.
Oh, it tells you what's in the deck? Yeah.
No, it just tells me that it's capitalizing on Caustic Exhale and Scavenger Region, which will reward a high density of dragons. And it also incorporates Self-Mill with Icetail Explorer and Fabled Passage. So you can cast Esper Origins. All makes sense.
I kind of like that. That sounds
It does
sick.
seem like a deck that you would like. It does.
That sounds like working too hard to do the things that other people are doing, you know?
Just for free.
That's
Yeah,
my
classic.
cup of tea.
Yep, that's exactly what you like to do. But anyway, folks, let's go to last call. Talk about Heineken Double Zero, this non-alcoholic beer. Jeff, did you end? Well, actually, no. Sorry, we should talk about our rating system. Though it doesn't really matter for this one in particular. Kind of. I guess let's just talk about it anyway. We rate all of our beers on a scale from bronze to mythic, just like the tiers in Arena. However, this has nothing to do with what tier you are in currently, because everyone is in different tiers at different times. So don't feel bad when we say that bronze beers are trash. They're horrible. You spit them on the ground, you pour them out, you cannot drink them.
Silver beers, these are just bad or boring.
Gold beers are fine, but you wouldn't really drink it again.
Platinum is solid, you would drink it again.
Diamond beers are exceptional. You like these a lot, and you show them off to your friends.
Mythic, these are the best of the best. These are the Jan Moritz Merkles of the beer world.
Ooh. All right. A player I'm not picking. All right. Great.
Call him the shot.
Yeah, it makes me feel really good. Wonderful. So, Jeff, this is a weird beer to rate because it kind of breaks the mold a bit of what we're normally doing, right?
Yeah.
So, because its counterpart, Heineken, is like a low silver.
Yeah, definitely silver.
Yeah, which when we did the silver series, it did not perform extremely well. Neither of us liked it very much, and we purposely avoid it when we can.
Yeah. I
However,
love
like we
that Silver
said,
Series because I figured out what beers to stop buying.
right? It was so good. I kind of missed the Silver Series. It was a good time.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
Bring
we'll
something back.
maybe we'll do a Silver Series again. That's where we well, yeah, whatever. You can go back to our old episodes. You'll hear about it.
Yeah.
But anyway, this Heineken. The main question is: did you open the second Heineken?
I did.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. You
So
know,
you had-
this little can wasn't enough.
Yeah. These bottles, I had to have 2 of them. So,
It's pretty good. Like,
it's good.
I think I'm leaning gold.
Yeah,
I think it deserves to get a better score than Heineken,
it does. But it's also like,
but not as good a score as Jelly King.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I will
Kinda
say
feels right.
that I do forget about this beer a lot. Like, when I do think about drinking non-alcoholic beers, I usually reach for like the Guinness ones, just because I like
The Guinness one is solid. Yeah.
I like that one. Or the ones like I'm right by Bellwood, so I'll always get like their non-alcoholic ones.
Sure.
So that's super easy for me. And sometimes I'm just like, I have to go through the same process of, oh yeah, the Heineken one is pretty good though.
Right.
And it just keeps happening. So it is one that I do recommend to people, but there's only so many options. Like, it doesn't really count as diamond because of that. But
Yeah, I think that part of the rating system doesn't really apply because sort of specific instance that I even want a non-alcoholic beer. Like, it's
yeah,
not like
and
I'm grabbing
as
these
well
all
as
the
other
time, you know?
people, yeah.
Yeah. So
I could see that. I could see a gold rating for this.
I think it's fair. I could see it sneaking into platinum if you really wanted to push for it. I could accept that, but
Yeah.
gold feels right to me. Like, it's good. It's not, it's not blowing my mind or anything. But
Yes. Yeah, I think it's hard because it's like I wouldn't really drink it again, except for I do drink it again, but I forget about it all the time. We even have
Yeah.
this at my, like, this is something that we offer at my job, and oftentimes people will go for the Sapporo, the 00 Sapporo, or the Stay Classy instead, and I'm like, gonna sell the Heineken, but I'm like, you know what, I don't care, whatever, have whatever you want.
just get whatever you want.
Yeah. So, yeah, I could see gold. I think specifically I want to say gold because we did find out right before the show that there is a beer called Heineken Silver, which is like
Yeah.
a light version of Heineken. And I want to put it on the record that this is better than whatever that is. Almost.
Yeah, that's
Like,
bronze
definitely.
for sure.
Yeah,
Just
that's
know.
definitely bronze. And so this just in ranking should be higher than the Heineken Silver beer itself.
Yeah. I almost bought that one because it was like Heineken with a different label
Logo.
on it, and I was like,
Yeah.
"That's got to be the non-alcoholic one." And I'm pretty glad that I double checked that because
Yeah.
there's no way that beer is good.
No. But maybe that's the next one we have to try for our
Yeah, we
new
do,
Silver
don't we?
Series.
God
Oh,
damn
God.
it.
Dang it. Oh, well. But yeah, anyway, sweet. Okay, well, let's say gold for these 00
Yeah,
Heinekens.
I'm happy with
I like
gold.
that. I'm happy with that. All right. Well, if you have ideas or thoughts about Heineken or non-alcoholic beers or really Magic or the World Championship or anything, you can always reach us at Arena Regulars. We are on Instagram and Blue Sky.
May also find us on Arena itself under the username Arena Regulars Podcast.
If you want to talk to me personally, you can find me at @theregular_Zach on Instagram and TikTok. I'm also on Twitch and YouTube as Regular Zach. But Jeff, where can they find you?
Best place is our Discord channel. I go by Regular Jeff there. It's a great place to come and chat Standard, chat Draft, chat Pioneer if you still play that format. You can talk about whatever you want. And once a month we do a Arena Peasant Cube Draft. That means that you can play. It's only has commons and uncommons in it, so you get to use up some of those common and uncommon wild cards and not have to touch any of your rare ones. It's a lot of fun. Happens the second Wednesday of every month. and should come join. The link for the Discord channel is in the show notes.
That is right. Also, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Spotify. Leave us a review there as well. Go to our YouTube channel. Give us a little comment or something. It means a lot to us. It helps the podcast in all these different ways, but we just love to hear what you have to say. This has been the Arena Regulars.
Reminding you that your next player of the year is Ken Yukihiro.
That's not it. You can't even say that. It's
For sure.
whatever. Good night. All right, that's fine.